Mr. Busy. There has never been anybody quite like Mr. Busy. He could do things 10 times as fast as ever or I could. For instance, if he was reading this book, he'd have finished it by now. Wow, guys, I think this Busy is really fast. He lived in a very busy-looking house, which he'd built himself. As you can see, it had lots of doors and windows. And do you know what it was called? Weekend Cottage. Do you know why? Because that's how long it took him to build it. I think it looks a bit busy already. It looks pretty busy, guys. This house. One fine summer morning, Mr. Busy was up and about bright and early at 6 o'clock. Okay, this is really early, I guess. He jumped out of bed and had a bath and cleaned his teeth and cooked his breakfast and ate his breakfast and read the paper and washed up and made his bed and cleaned the house from top to bottom. By which time it was 7 o'clock. Busy Mr. Busy. Oh, okay, he's really, really fast. Just like 1 hour. Okay. Now, next door to Mr. Busy lived somebody who wasn't quite such a busy person. In fact, he was a very unbusy person. Mr. Slow. Okay, Mr. Slow is really slow. And I'm going to record this video a bit later, but not today. If he was reading this book, he'd read it like this. Okay, that's really slow. He'd still be on the first page. And that same fine morning at 7:05, when Mr. Busy knocked at his door, Mr. Slow was fast asleep in bed. Oh God, if I were him, I would really, I don't know. He'd gone to bed for an afternoon nap today before and somehow hadn't woken up until he heard Mr. Busy knocking at his door. Who's that? Who's that knocking at my door? He called downstairs. Good morning, cried Mr. Busy. Can I come in? And without waiting for an answer, he went inside. Where are you? He called. Upstairs? Upstairs came the slow reply. So Mr. Busy went upstairs 2 at a time. Good heavens, said. You're still in bed. And he made Mr. Slow get up. And he made his bed for him and cooked his breakfast for him and cleaned his house for him. Poor Mr. Slow. He hated to be rushed and fussed. If I were him, I think I'd know. Maybe the middle of these two. Right, said Mr. Busy briskly. It's a fine day. Let's go for a picnic. Mr. Slow pulled a face. I don't like picnics. He really talks a bit slow. He complained nonsense. Nonsense, replied Mr. Busy, and buzzed himself around Mr. Slow's kitchen. Make up a picnic for the two of them. It took him a minute and a half. Okay, this would be really, really fast. I think if I were him, I would be happy a bit. Right, he cried when he'd finished. Off we go, and the bustled Mr. Slow out of his front door, and off they set. As you can imagine, Mr. Busy walks extremely quickly. And as you can imagine, Mr. Slow doesn't. So by the time Mr. Busy had walked a mile, do you know how far Mr. Slow had walked? If you know, just write in the comments below, because I'm not sure. To his own garden gate. Own garden gate? Okay, that's a really short amount. Mr. Busy hurried back. Come on, he cried, impatiently. Hurry up, replied Mr. Slow. Impossible. He really talks slow, I can say. The lawnmower. Oh, all right, said Mr. Busy. We'll have a picnic in your garden. Wait a minute, though, he added. The grass needs cutting. And he rushed back to Weekend Cottage and rushed back again with his lawnmower and rushed up and down cutting Mr. Slow's lawn. It took him 2.5 minutes. Okay, that's really fast. Like other things that what I said is also really fast. And I'll stop saying fast anymore, so you know what fast means. It would have taken him 2 minutes, but he had to mow around Mr. Slow, who couldn't get out of the way in time. Okay, that makes sense. Right, said Mr. Busy. Picnic time. And together on that fine summer day, they had a fine picnic. Well, actually, Mr. Busy had a finer picnic than Mr. Slow because he ate more quickly and had most of the food. Mr. Busy stretched out on the grass. That was fun, he said. I like picnics. You do? You do? I don't, said Mr. Slow. Tell you what, went on Mr. Busy, ignoring him. Tomorrow we'll go on a proper picnic out in the country. Oh my, out in the country. Okay, I think he would not like it at all. Mr. Slow pulled a face and went on Mr. Busy in order to do that and get you out into the country. I'll have to call for you earlier than I did this morning. Mr. Slow pulled another face. "See you tomorrow then," said Mr. Busy, and went home and cleaned his house from bottom to top. The following morning, Mr. Busy jumped out of bed at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. That's really early. I can't even wake up. I think like the shortest would be around 6 o'clock. And had a bath and cleaned his teeth and cooked his breakfast and ate his breakfast and read the paper and washed up and made his bed and cleaned the house from top to bottom. By which time it was 6 o'clock. He went and knocked on Mr. Slow's front door. Come on, he cried. "Time to be up and about picnic time." And again, we know he will rush inside. But who knows what's going to happen next? If you want, you can write in the comments below. No reply. "Come on," cried Mr. Busy again. No reply. Mr. Busy went inside and went upstairs 3 at a time and into Mr. Slow's bedroom. And this is how the picture looks like. Expecting to find him in bed, but he wasn't. He's hiding. Oh, we can see a bed. He's hiding under his bed. And he wasn't anywhere upstairs, and he wasn't anywhere downstairs. "Bother," said Mr. Busy. "I wonder where he's got to." As you see, I'm reading really fast because Mr. Busy reads pretty fast. So the things with these speech thingies, I talk very fast, so yeah. Where Mr. Slow had got to was under his bed, hiding. He didn't want to go on any picnic, not he. Bother, said Mr. Busy again. That means I'll have to go on a picnic on myself. Oh, sorry, I just said on myself. Actually, it's on my own. Under his bed, Mr. Slow smiled a slow smile. Yeah, I think he's pretty smart. Wait, what a good idea, he said, and went to sleep, snoring very slowly. Okay, so if you want to read more books, then I will read some tomorrow. So see you later, and make sure to like and subscribe.